Zach, how you doing this evening, man?
Oh, we're doing well. We started a new year.
Yes,
2026 is
that's
here.
what prompted us to want to do this. Is this sort of a bonus 2026 episode? It's not part of our regular ELR news and reviews. So we wanted to just do a 2026 kickoff and just talk. This nothing real formal on this one. I think before we get started, so we'll record this on January 3rd. Um, we want to address a couple of things that are out there in the ELR world and just see what's going on. Again, we're not going to get in depth. So let me talk about what we're doing. So anybody that's in tune to ELR right now knows that there's a debate raging online about scoring models again. This is a horse that's been beaten to death over and over for several years, trying to reach a unified scoring mechanism. Um, there have been some recent meetings with match directors, which I won't get into, but what I want the ELR community to take away from that is this is actually a very good thing. Doesn't seem like it. It seems like there's a bunch of turmoil. If I was somebody from the outside of the ELR world looking in, I'm not sure what I would make of it. And honestly, that's my biggest fear is I don't want to turn anybody off of ELR if you're somebody new. But at the end of the day, this is good news because at the end of this, first, it means people care. The online debate, the people wanting to do something that works and that is fair and that tries to put everybody on a level playing field, that is because they care about the sport of ELR. And that's wonderful news. To get as many comments and suggestions and questions and all that you're seeing on Facebook and forums, that's great news. That's people that care. And that's people that, regardless of disagreements or opinions, they're trying to do what they think is best. Um, that's good news for ELR. So at the end of the day, that's good news. Zach, anything you want to add to that?
No, no, I agree with you 100%, Sean. That's the key takeaway that you made there is that people that care are putting up the carry the torch, and that's what it takes. And it takes people caring and staying there and staying in the discussion to move that bar forward. Not everybody's going to agree. Not any one system is going to be perfect, but if we can agree to disagree for the greater good, I think that's where the progress is going to be made, and that's really what we're all working for. Trust me, there's a lot of smart people, a lot of people trying their on honest to goodness level best to do right by them and the shooters they represent.
Zach, you've got a pretty good phrase I've heard you use before. I think it's something about being understood that may
Yeah,
apply here.
it's one that I like using a lot myself and applying personally to any open-minded conversation you go into, and it was one I learned from Peterson. Terry was a big one for saying that at Peterson Cartridge that one needs to seek to understand before being understood,
That's a,
and
that's a good
that's
saying.
a good way to look at it. If people go into a conversation with I'm seeking to understand the other side before I cram my ideas down his throat.
Right, right. Well, and I just want to reiterate that one last time. I don't want to belabor the point, but the match directors and other people who are lending their opinions, again, it all comes from a position of care, from a position of concern, and a position from wanting to do what's best for ELR, whether other people think that's what's best for ELR or not. I genuinely believe everybody I've dealt with has been sincere in what they're trying to achieve. There may be disagreements about how it's achieved or if it's something we need to achieve, but there will be in any group. I mean, put two people together, and there's going to eventually be a disagreement. But I do believe it's sincere, and I do believe the sport of ELR is in a position to develop and grow whatever that looks like. And as long as people are doing it from a position of good faith and sincerity and ultimately love of the sport, the tree will bear fruit. It's just the way it is. So, with that being said, let's talk about what we can control, Zach. Let's look at sort of the matches we're involved in and what we're doing our end this year under the East Coast ELR series. So, you want to take the lead on that? You want me to talk about it first? What you want to do?
Yeah, as far as the 2026 ELR matches go, we have one coming up in Pitts here, November 8th and 9th is done for both Pitts and Blackberry. Our season's already actually started, and the next one, the third match, will be February 7th and 8th down there in Pitts, Georgia. I'm hoping to be there. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I think I've got to be there. So yeah. And let's address that real quick. Zach, I want to talk about sort of so just to give a brief history to people that aren't familiar or newer to ELR. I definitely can't say I've been there since the beginning. I've been around probably too long now, but for years, Joe Burdick was with ELR Southeast, and he's basically the reason we have ELR down in my neck of the woods. Now I know there were some other matches. The guys at Black Bear ran early ELR matches over here in the East, up in Virginia. Wonderful matches. But Joe did a lot with ELR, and the only reason I'm in ELR is because of Joe Burdick. That's how that was. He opened the door. He had the opportunities for people to do it, and recently Joe has decided to step back a little bit from ELR for his own, for some reasons. And he has recently decided to let me and you assume that mantle that he's borne so well for so long, and to try to keep it going in the spirit that he wanted to be done in, and to in the sport of ELR, and the spirit of continuing to grow ELR and to add ELR opportunities in the East. So, Joe, salute. Thank you for everything you've done for ELR. If you ever watch this, and we owe a huge debt to the work you've put in over the years for ELR to even be here, and again in Georgia, in Virginia, in different places. So thank you for everything you've done. If you ever see this, with that being said, I'm going to be taking over the ELR Southeast match in February. We're going to run it under the same format. It's going to be 50-round match. Heavy gun will shoot three stages on the first day and two on the second. Light gun will shoot four on the first day, one on the second. It's already up on practice score. Registration hasn't opened. Zach, registration will open, I believe, January 6th, which is what Joe always did, roughly 1 month before the match. Registration will open. We've currently got the price at $225. We may discuss that some. We're going to get some feedback on that, but that's currently where it's at. And we'll talk about it. But that's going to be the first. Should say the first. We've had Pitts in November, was technically the first of the 25-26 season, but this will be the first one actually in calendar year 26 of the series. And then Black Bear is included in November of last year too. But again, this will be the first of 2026 calendar year. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how registration goes, and I'm going to try to get up to the challenge of being there and trying to make this match go as well as Joe has made it go in the past.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Looking forward to it. I myself am trying to make sure I get down there and shoot that with you. And I know some of my buddies up here north are planning on making that trek down there. I think just to beat some of the cold weather.
Yeah. Well, and the irony is I may be at more ELR matches this year than I've ever been at, but shoot way fewer ones than I've ever shot. It's just the way it goes. So I may not get to pull the trigger at very many matches this year, but it's worth it to try to make them go, and to see a lot of new people and new faces and old faces come back and shoot. So that's the first one we've got up. From there, what do we look at next, Zach?
After February in Pitts, we go back to Black Bear Shooting Complex in Gladstone, Virginia, March 14th and 15th for the unholy match.
Oh, nice. That'll be good.
Jordan and
Daniel Lynn. Yep.
Daniel Lynn will be running that once again. Great people, great match.
Yep.
Again, I'm going to try to make that one there as well too. Had a blast there in November. Wasn't able to make it down to Pitts, but I was able to get down there and shoot with Jordan and Naomi and that crew down there, and it was a great time. Looking forward to going back there March, and then April 11th will be the next match in the series, and that will be at Thunder Valley. First one officially, not our first match or ELR match, but it will be the first one in the 2026 ELR Southeast East Coast ELR series.
Okay.
We're looking forward to that.
So we got February 6th or 7th and 8th. We've got March 13th, 14th. You said that's April 11th.
I think it's 14 and 15, but yeah.
Okay, okay, gotcha. And that was just so roughly one a month. Starting out gives you a little time to rest, travel, hopefully get to some multiple venues if you can. What? How about after that? What are we looking at?
After that is one of our new venues. We're trying to finish doing some uh, work, getting the groundwork laid there, but we're hoping to be making a trip to Shooter's Gauntlet in Franklandale, PA.
Nice, nice. Okay, awesome.
That's up there. Hopefully, we'll get some of you New Yorkers and uh, northeast
Good.
people to get down there. Currently, they go to about 1,500 yards. One of the details we're trying to work out is to get that to 2,000 or just beyond, so we can bring in the heavy gun guys. And really, this match will be part of the series if we can get those distances. But I think we're going to see a lot of new shooters there. We'll be reaching a new technical part of the country.
Yeah,
Or some of our shooters do now. One or two maybe come from there, but they all say they have 3 or 4 friends that would go and like to try this out if we could bring something closer. And I think
well,
that's the whole
I'm
idea.
I'm jealous of anybody that has 3 or 4 friends anymore in anything. So I feel like sometimes that's hard to keep. Well, that's great. Yeah, and adding another state to the list of available states is fantastic. It's just another opportunity for ELR to grow. So I'm excited to hear that's on board. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing the details of that venue. Um, some people may know one of our venues from last year, and it's a venue that was close to my heart, Moccasin Valley Precision, outside of technically, I think the address was Lebanon, Virginia. The landowner there decided that he didn't want us to have ELR events there anymore, and 100% respect his decision. We will miss that venue. Um, Given that, we decided with a few of us started looking at alternatives, and that's where some of these new places have been coming from. We've got a potential place in Tennessee that we're looking at. It's raw, and we're not exactly sure when that one may be able to hit the timetable as far as the schedule. But we are working hard on getting it done, hoping to have it up and running as quick as we can. And we're really hoping that that'll be a good permanent home for ELR. One of the key factors in that one is making sure that once we do get it up and running, if we can, and I'm 100%, well, let's say 95% we can, that we never have to worry about it going away. That this will be a place that ELR can rest assured is going to be a top priority for years to come. And we're looking forward to having that on the venue as a venue in the future. So
Yep.
we don't know when it's going to happen. We're working hard on it, and that's another opportunity that we're going to have. We're exploring an opportunity in the Deep South. We're going to leave it sort of nameless right now because it's in the very early stages, but we're looking at some opportunities that'll bring ELR to even bigger communities and add some more opportunities down in the Deep South area. I
Yeah,
know.
the nice thing about that one, for the people that have been waiting, that one has a 2 mile range.
Yes, yes. If we can get that one worked out, that's going to be a wonderful opportunity for people to travel to that really want to stretch that out. Now, I have my own opinions about 2 mile ranges, and I know you do, Zach, and we're going to save that for a much more in depth future discussion about ELR. But it is nice to have that kind of opportunity if people want it. So I'm looking
Exactly.
forward, hopefully we can make some real progress on that soon, and y'all just stay tuned for more news on that. All right, so that's gotten us up through what to say April,
May, and then
May.
brings us to the June. That's where I said that's what's looking exciting.
Yeah.
We currently have dates open around June 27 and 28 for our
Mm-hmm.
match number 7. We're just not sure what that venue will be, but we're leaving that open for maybe one of
Right.
those ones that we just mentioned to be able to be plugged in there. One other venue, there is a venue in West Virginia that we're looking at. I don't see that Joe once again started those conversations and handed them off to you and and I had a brief conversation with the powers that be there, and pretty much we just got covered that yes, we're very interested in working with you, and we think we can make this happen in 2026. It may be later in 2026 due to some obligations they have at that particular venue with other contracts. And hopefully, if we can bring that in, I really see a lot of growth in 2026, a lot of opportunities, especially here in the East for shooters to get in and get plugged in. We're going to work at definitely trying to unify the match format so that everybody kind of knows what to expect when they get there. Uh, we're going to try to unify um, the rules so far. All these places we've talked to have gotten a chance to read over kind of what the East Coast ELR and Joe set up. It's going to
Okay.
pretty much be those rules that we're all going to follow under that rule system. There'll be some new twists in there. We're looking at trying to do a little more cash payouts for the shooters on a standard basis, but uh, we're still exploring a lot of those ideas and trying to get some consistency throughout, so that anybody coming to a match on the East Coast, whether you be running it, whether I be running it, whether be Jordan be running it, um, those other venues are probably the same thing. Maybe the first couple, since they're new at it, you or I or Jordan are going to step in and going to give them a lot of guidance and help. But hopefully, these places learn to stand on their own and uh, with just guidance, just camaraderie between us match directors, being able to keep it consistent and make a fun place where people can go and have fun and know what to expect when they get there.
Yeah, we want consistency for our shooters, and between us, for match directors, it makes it easier for us. It's easy. It's a win-win for everybody. Um, I want to address one thing real quick. We as match directors, we want feedback. We listen to our shooters. We get a lot of it. I think a lot of times shooters don't realize how much feedback we're getting from a lot of different people, and sometimes that's hard for us as match directors to balance that. It's hard to implement everything people want because a lot of times you got shooters that want two different things implemented, that are at odds to each other, and you can't. But what we will always guarantee you, or at least what I will, and I believe all the East Coast match directors will guarantee you, is we're listening. We will hear you. We will try to let you know you've been heard. We want to make sure that you understand that, and we don't just we're not closing our ears to anything. We do have to consider everybody's needs on this, and then the overall needs of ELR. And so having that kind of consistency in rules and scoring, it helps shooters show up. It helps new shooters show up and know what to expect. It helps match directors know what to expect. And so we're going to try to do our best to make that consistent for everybody in our series, and especially as new venues come on. The beautiful thing about ELR is every venue brings its own unique set of challenges. Even if you have everything standard, you have standard firing lines, standard target sizes, standard scoring, that just the difference in the terrain, the elevation, the altitude, the azimuth, everything makes ELR unique. It's like a golf course. It's like playing different golf courses. It always changes. And then you add conditions on top of that. So as we get more places involved, it's really going to give people opportunities. Now, that said, how are we going to balance, or tell me how the series works on somebody just shooting the same place all the
Uh, you're going to be able to do that. And in fact, a lot of people are, because keep in mind that the whole idea is to get us a string of venues from Florida to New York, that any one venue is no more than 5 hours from the next one. Some will be closer, some might be, but everyone is within a day's drive uh, of of the next one. Um, so in other words, hopefully, unless you're at one of those two extremes, uh, you're located in an area where you can go two different directions, anywhere from 1 hour, 2 hours to 5 hours, and hit at least two different venues.
yes.
So that's the thing. We are going to, in the series, this year, some of the things that we've talked about, and that's listening to you guys. One thing that I'd like to take and interject here at this time too is a lot of you guys look at us as, well, match directors are doing this, match directors are doing that, shooters want this. Right now, everybody I know in the East Coast that is match directing are avid shooters as well. We may not always get to do it as much. We try to get to each other's matches and shoot them, but it's in our nature to help out where we can. Uh, that's another thing to keep bringing in black bear. I thoroughly enjoyed going and shooting in November, where I didn't have to run a score. I didn't have to worry about getting people signed. I got
Yeah,
to go there and actually just shoot. Just
yeah,
remember that all of the match directors that I know in the East are actually shooters too, and you will see their names on score sheets, because we're not just sitting up on our little chairs there thinking, what can we do to the shooters? It's going to do this or do that. We're actually trying to work out things that we've seen personally. We're down there in the trenches with you. We're struggling to hit those, whatever your goals are. We're going through the same thing, whether we're points chasing or whether we're just trying to improve our own shooting skills from one match to the next. That's where we are. I know Clay's the same way from long shot. He's been helping with trying to do a lot of this unification stuff, and he's a shooter.
yeah.
Alex, he's a shooter. These guys are all shooters, and they're all passionate about what
Mhm.
we do. So keep that in mind. A lot of them will go. We'll get people say, "Well, I hope you guys are considering what the shooters are thinking." Well, keep in mind, a lot of us are shooters ourselves, and we are taking that into consideration.
Yeah. So breaking news: match directors don't hate shooters. Is that
No,
what you're
no,
telling me?
not really.
Okay, all right, all right. I'll take your word for it then. But no, I agree. Look, everybody I think that's currently a match director came into the sport shooting. You know, I don't know of anybody that just jumped straight out and said, "Hey, I want to host a match," and I've never even done this thing. I know I would love to shoot more, but I also like making events happen, and so it just sort of has happened that you end up taking a more active role in matches.
Right,
Um,
right. If you want it to happen in your area, sometimes you've got to be the guy that goes out there and beats the bushes and
yeah,
and looks for these places. And there are times that I wish all I did was shoot and didn't go do this, but it's my passion and love for the sport that says, if I have the ability to help out here, I'm going to help out, and we're going to try to do this, regardless of what a lot of shooters think. We certainly aren't doing it for the money.
yeah. No, no. It's about like shooting ELR. You don't break even doing that. If you break even as a match director, you're lucky. You're basically, if nothing else, giving your time for a $0 rate. It's less than minimum wage. I guarantee you. And that's one thing, Zach, where you and I are different. You talk about wanting to be able to go and just shoot. Um, I don't know if I want to do that anymore because I think I need the excuse of, hey, this is why I didn't do any good. If I ever get to where I don't have my excuses anymore, I'll probably just have to quit because I have nothing else to blame. So I'm always going to try to keep my excuse of, well, there was something else I was doing. So I got to have my excuses. But so looking at the fall, we won't go too far out of it. So as far as venues, or we say we're looking at probably shooting at two different venues this year, three if we get enough matches, or
Yep, if
what's
we get enough matches, and it's looking like we could maybe have 10 matches in the finale this year, and in that case, it will probably be three matches like they do in PRS, and mainly because um, really, if you're going to points chase and that's your thing, and you want to make it to a finale, I think it's plausible that you should be able to make a third of the matches, and even three on 10 isn't quite a third. It's
sure.
close. So it's giving the hedge of the thing, but you'll
So is
have to
that
shoot two venues.
okay? So all right, so at least three matches, two venues,
Right,
right? And you can shoot all 9 or 10 matches.
right,
We're gonna
exactly.
take
Nothing.
your three best scores.
Right.
So if you're somebody that's lucky enough to be right in the middle of all these places and you want to hit them all, you can.
Right. And the
Right.
good thing here is right now, hopefully, it's looking like we're not going to have any more than two matches count for the series uh, in any one place.
Okay.
If that's the case, that makes that three matches even a little better because that forces you to get that third score somewhere else.
Right. Right.
One thing that we're looking at too is in the past, if it was more, you could take your two best scores even if they were from the same venue.
Hmm.
In the future here, we're going to move that to one of those scores. One of your scores has to be. So you can have two scores from one venue, but no matter how good or bad that other venue is, that'll be the score. You'll take your best score from that venue.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so let's say you shoot two Thunder Valleys, you get pretty decent score there, uh, and you go shoot somewhere else and it's an average. You wish you'd done better, but that's just the way it's going to be. That score is going to get uh, added in there. We're going to try to keep that updated on these shows so people can track where they are and see whether they need to try to get themselves to another match.
Well, and everybody else is going to be under the same rules too.
Exactly.
Everybody else is going to have to go shoot a different venue as well. So, if that sort of averages out over the thing, it's still a level playing field.
And and one other thing we're looking at doing for the finale, which will be right now, September 19th,
Okay.
at Thunder Valley, um, in Ohio. As the season wears on and we see what we're looking like, I know it's looking like that's going to be a 1 day. If by chance it wasn't and it becomes a 2 day, it'll be a light gun 1 day, heavy gun the next.
Okay. Okay.
Because that's going to be a standalone match. All the points that you gather throughout the season are
Okay.
going to be your ticket in to that match. And what we're going to do is it'll probably be an invitational.
I got you.
Uh, that will be probably if we have a big enough field. I'm hoping that we have 100 unique shooters, as you said. We had 88, 87 last year. I'm hoping we get that to 100 to 120.
Okay.
And if we can do that, at least in light gun, we're probably going to take like the top 25.
Okay.
If you're in that top 25, you're going to have an invite to that finale match September 19th, maybe 20th at Thunder Valley. Uh, and that's another way to show you that we're running this series not as a money generator for the powers that be or whatever, because otherwise we would say, hey, we want all 100 shooters there, but we're doing that for the shooters to give them bragging rights or that little feather in their cap to say, hey, I made the top 25, uh, and that match is going to be a standalone. So once you get into that match, all the scores are back to zero. That's one match for all the dominoes, as they say.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
and I think that'll make it a lot more funner. So if you get in there as shooter number 25, bring your A game because you have just as much a chance of taking home the championship as the guy that got in there first.
All right. Well, that'll be interesting. That'll be fun to give everybody a chance, and looking forward to see how that goes. I'm
We've got some sponsors coming and stepping up for that are going to put some serious cash in for the
great.
winners for that match. It's gonna if you're coming from Florida or you're coming from wherever, it's gonna make it worth your drive
So,
if you get qualified.
so you mentioned one interesting thing there. You talked about last year we had 87 or 88 unique shooters. One thing we'd like to ask to anybody watching this is if you enjoy ELR, invite new people. I love having new people come in. I tried. I'm building a rifle now that I hope will be a loaner for someone who says, "Hey, I've wanted to try it, but I really, I don't want to go off that deep end without doing it first. Hey, here's a rifle to shoot. I've got good data. I've got you ammo, and come out and try it." So I know Jordan Congdon and the Black Bear guys are awesome about that. They are
Absolutely.
fantastic about having loaner rifles, getting new people involved. And hey, maybe it's not for that new person, but okay, they tried it.
And
But
it's not always for the new people with the Jordan. And I'm not ashamed to admit he told me to come on down there and shoot with him. I'm like, oh man, I
yeah,
just finished up my 300 Win Mag barrel. Took a dump. I don't even have anything to shoot. He says, you do now. Just come down. I got your rifle and ammo for you.
yeah. Yep. And that's no small thing. That's a
No,
huge thing. But again, that's the bad pun intended, the caliber of people that are involved in ELR. So encourage friends to come out and try. If you're interested, if you're seeing you somehow stumbled upon this and have watched it and you haven't been in ELR or you're something other, reach out. There will be people that'll help. If you're interested, if you have questions, comment, reach out. We will do our best to answer them. We'll do our best to get you involved. We know it's no small thing and no small investment. We know that times are tough right now financially. They are for a ton of people, including us. It is more expensive to shoot now than it was even 2 years ago. All right. So we want people to be able to do it just again because we love the sport so much and we want to see it grow for no other reason than we think it's a great sport. Again, I don't care if it grows for any reason other than it's a fun sport that anybody can do. My son, who's he's young. I won't disclose his age online. He may not want me to, but he is not a teenager. He loves to shoot ELR matches. I've got a rifle built for him. We love having kids on the firing line. We're going to try to work on some stuff to encourage more youth involvement now and more involvement. But that's what we want. We want unique shooters. We want new people coming in. Just because we want ELR to be a bigger family. We have no other motivation than that. So I wanted to touch on that since you mentioned unique shooters, Zach. We've got a few minutes left. Anything else you want to add tonight that you're thinking of? Anything else? We've sort of talked about our series. Let me say this. Let me say that to get off of our series a little bit. Again, if you have questions about it, comment, reach out. But I want to strongly encourage people that hey, maybe you're not in the East. Go to another match. Go there. There are matches popping up in Texas, Kansas, the Midwest, all over the West out there. Matches are popping up. Just go attend one. Most match directors, I know at matches I'm at, people will message me and say, "Hey, I just want to come watch. I don't want to bring a rifle." But one thing I always tell them: bring good hearing protection. This is
mm,
not one of the things where you want to be a tough guy or like I've done in the past. You say, "Oh, my hearing's already shot. I don't mind. I've been around guns all my life." This is a different thing. You don't want to be standing near the firing line without hearing protection when those 50 cals go off. It will literally hurt you. It is some of that will be, you need to, if you want to attend a match, I keep spare earplugs and earmuffs at my matches. If somebody walks up that's local and just hears it going and walks up, hey, jump down, see what we're doing, come in, ask questions, but here's some earmuffs. You got to wear them. I don't want you walking away with a bad headache because you wanted to watch. So get to a match somewhere is what I strongly encourage anybody interested in doing it. Get to a match, just watch it. If nothing else, shoot it if you can.
yep, I agree with you 100%. That those are good words of advice. Uh, we try to be a friendly lot. I don't know of anybody that's going to turn you away. A lot of people, like I said, will offer you equipment. Hey, you want to try after the match? Hey, you want to try shooting that? And a lot of times there are open range sessions there while scores are being added up, and or people have a few more rounds to send off. I'll warn you if you're gonna do that. Uh, get out the checkbook because sooner or later you're going to end up spending the money. You're gonna get the hook and you're like, oh, I can't believe this guy let me shoot his rifle. It wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
He's
Be
he's trying to reel you in too.
be careful if your significant other doesn't shoot. Be careful about bringing them to a match because it's going to be hard to hide it later. One thing let me give you another good reason to attend the match. You're not going to go to a local gun store unless you're super lucky. You're not going to go to a local gun store and see equipment like this. I know of no shooter that I've ever asked, hey, can I look through your scope? Can I look through your spotting scope? Can I look through your binoculars? Can I try the trigger on your rifle? Can I run the bolt on that? I've been looking at one of those acts who has told me no. We love to show off our stuff. That's
Oh,
part of the way it
absolutely.
is. And so a match is almost a trade show. It is like a miniature version of SHOT Show. And if you're interested in ELR, if you're interested, even if you're already shooting it, you're thinking about changing scopes. hey, go look, get down behind the loophole, behind the night force, behind the march. And yeah, hey, good luck finding a march somewhere. You can find them in ER matches. Get behind Swarovski, Zeiss. I challenge you to walk into your local gun store and get that kind of access in real world conditions to any of these optics. Rangefinders, the SIGs, the all that. I mean, it's all available. And again, shooters love to show off their stuff. The only thing I would ask you to do after you look through it is find one good thing to say about it. And you've earned it. Even if you didn't like it, find one good thing to say about it. That you've got that shooter from then on. Let you look at their stuff. So.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, we want to just put out this 2026 rundown. We're looking forward to an awesome year. We're really excited about things that are happening on the East Coast and ELR, and we are looking forward to all of us working together to have a wonderful ELR year. We've got a good group of shooters here in the East. We'll welcome with open arms shooters from anywhere. We hope we can get some foreign shooters, some international shooters to come in this year. We are looking forward to just seeing a bunch of new faces on the shooting lines and seeing a bunch of people that we know and have shot with in the past. And again, that you go to shoots as much to catch up with them and see how they're doing as anything else. So Zach, any final thoughts before we close this one out?
Nope. Just remember, January 6th, open registration for pits down there. I'll be excited to get in and get going on that one. It'll shake off the dust and snow and ice and get some rounds. And like I said, after that, they're gonna start coming.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I'd completely forgotten it. Yep, registration is going to open up. It's on Practice Score. If you're interested, look under ELR Southeast. Should be the club, and it'll be under the ELR Southeast Pits match. There'll be a light division and a heavy division. If you want to shoot both, register for both. But if you're familiar with Practice Score, that's where it's at. If you don't want to go through Practice Score or not familiar with Practice Score, it makes you anxious. Reach out to me. Just reach out personally, and we'll do what we can to try to get everybody in. We always want to try to make it work for everybody. And with that, we're going to look forward to an awesome 2026. And the last thing I want to say is, guys, all the discussion about ELR, just remember, it is a good thing. It is because a bunch of people care and a bunch of people want it to be the best thing it can possibly be. So, Zach, we'll get together again soon, put out another episode soon, and we'll
hopefully get back to one of our regular episodes 3 and move on. And as time permits and things progress, maybe we'll have a few of these unscheduled ones as well.
Yep. If there's something you shooters or participants want to know about or want us to do an episode on, let us know. We'll do our best. We definitely don't know everything, but we'll try to address anything that you're interested in, and it'll help us. So, all right. With that, everybody, we'll see you later. Comment and let us know what you want to hear. Like, subscribe, and we'll try to keep these coming for you because we're going to be talking about it anyway. So we might as well put it out there. So, Zach, thanks for everything. We'll see you again soon, buddy.
Amen. See you.
All right.